Good afternoon. My name is Tom Brinsonoff, Certified Master Mechanic out of Reading, PA. Today I'm going to show you how to change your front disc brake pads. The easiest thing I tell you before you get into anything is just make sure you have a good solid jack underneath it. Preferably 1 to 2, 3-ton capacity. It's a lot safer and hold the weight of the car. But other than that, I've already taken the wheel off to make it a little bit easier and simplify this a little bit. But once you get your wheel off, you have your brake caliper here. Usually, typically, there's 2 bolts that hold it on, your top one and your bottom one. Show you a little trick here. On this 95 Grand Prix, it has a little clip on the inside here. What you need to do is just pry that back a little bit. The second step is you want to take this bottom bolt out. And I'll show you in a second here why we only take the bottom one out. That bottom one out here, then just take your caliper and flip it straight up like this. Makes your life a little bit easier. You don't have to take the whole thing apart. If you find that you really don't feel like holding it, you can just slide it. That pin stays in there. All you just flip it upside down here. And this is that clip I was telling you about earlier. You have to pry it out a little bit to get this thing off. Sometimes these are a little tricky. Don't be afraid that if you bend it out a little too far, because you won't be reusing them again. Get that top one, the outside one off. Grab your brake caliper, your brake pad tool. You can pick these up for about $8 at your local parts store. What you do, you want to stick that in there, and it'll push these pistons back so you can get your new brake shoes on. They shouldn't go back in too hard. You should be able to push these in with just using one hand. If it gives you any more force than that, you probably have a problem with your caliper or your brake hose. But don't try rushing it. Just turn it real nice and slow. It's okay if one piston starts pushing back before the other one. This one here in particular is a 2-piston caliper. Most of them are just one single one. But if you have one that has 2, don't be amazed if you got one of them that goes back before the other one. The other one will catch up with it. As I said, just take your time pushing them back in. Take your tool out. Once you get it all the way back, your inside pad just pops right out. You take your new brake pads. And unfortunately, these are nothing wrong with them, but we'll put these back in here. Just slide it right back in there. Simple as so. Take your outside pad, goes down over your metal. You'll hear it click right back in. Take your caliper. Make sure you don't twist this hose up here. Slide that pin back in. That's why I said only take that bottom one out, so you can use that first one as a guide. It rolls down in here. Stick your caliper pin back in. Get that bolt going. Tighten it up. And that's all there is to changing your front disc brake pads.